Oh, yeah, it should be working now. In regards to the new overlay, well, that's the fruits of transitioning to the OBS. I did have some preparations prior to that. We'll see whether it works out in the end after all. But the software that I am currently using is, of course, well, I won't say suboptimal, but I will say will require further work. As you can see here, or, well, you cannot see it at the moment, but it will appear soon. Also, apologies, it's always loud like that. I've checked multiple times. And there is no way for me to see about muting the opening crawl. Let's call it that way. Anyway, good evening, afternoon, or whatever time of the day it is in your part of the planet. And as promised, today we are going back to Hard West. Hopefully people will actually come to this one, but nevertheless, yeah, the game is fixed. Funnily enough, it's actually a little brighter on the what should I call it? On the recording, it seems. Hopefully, it will stay that way. And OBS seems to be flashing a message at me that encoding is overloaded and asks me to either the lower video settings or to what was it? Or to try a different preset, it seems. Only if this problem persists, I will consider doing that. Anyway, as I was mentioning, the setup is somewhat suboptimal because the software that I'm using to capture my model is geared towards something with a bit more moving parts, let's put it that way. Which is why I am currently stuck in my talking view. But hey, if it works, it works. As mentioned, I will be looking into probably getting a little more elaborate model in the future. By the way, how's it looking on your end? No stuttering? Let me know if things do change. As for how can I... as... Anyway, I am rambling again. Everything looks fine. There is nothing, to my knowledge, that is going wrong at this point in time. Taking my mind off this, it's all right. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? Back to As Good as Dead. Loading our last checkpoint. Yeah. Highly unfortunate that on this day we have unfortunately lost David Lynch. Then again, considering the sickness he's been diagnosed with, it's a miracle that he has managed to last this long. At a pretty venerable age, 75 years old. Pour one out for him tonight, wherever you are. His movies may have been incomprehensible, but the man was a legend. And legends, as we all know, never die. Let's see where we have left off. Currently, our reward is $5,000 for the murder of 13 people and $5,000 worth of damage. We are looking to raise hell. meaning we need to kill 100 people for an infernal reward, courtesy of our benefactor. And we need to cause $65,000 worth of damage in properties to the heart into the masked man to lure him out of his hiding. First of all, let's go to Gin Mill and talk to Murray about who that masked man is. You arrived at Old Man Murray's gin mill to find the place ruined, deserted, and covered in crates. The upper floor office remained suspended, but looked like it would fall apart any second. You figured you could grab one thing and get out. But should you get the money from the safe, or the curious glass item on the desk? I think I'm personally leaning more towards the glass item. We can loot money from the dead, is what I'm thinking. So yes, you took the glass item. As you grabbed the item from the desk, the floor lurched, and as a low rumble heralded the office's imminent demise. You leaped from the room as it collapsed into the rubble on the floor below. You inspected the loot, turned to be just a strange old monocle. Let's have a look at it. Ocular. An experimental aiming aid, if you know how to squint. Plus 10 aim, plus 4 sight. Not too bad. It looks like we also looted a 6-shooter and a deadly derringer. There's us. Maimed, mutilated, and shot to death, you have risen from the grave to avenge your beloved Florence. Your newfound sense of purpose makes you tougher, angrier, and more determined than ever. What cards we've been dealt with? There's the Jack of Diamonds with Shadow Salve. Regenerate but not in direct sunlight. Very powerful in nightmares. We also have Transfusion. Exchange health for the target character. Also gives us plus 1 HP. And Queen of Clubs for a Shriek, to damage enemies in sight. We'll see as to what exactly we are deadly against. Let's sort them. 9, Jack, Queen. And this gives us a high card. Queen high, specifically, which gives us that much more sight. If we were to get our hands on a sniper rifle, we would be, I'm thinking, right deadly. But first things first, of course, we're gonna need to get us some allies. And what better place to do that would be to look around. Going either to the Indian camp or the... where is it? Elixir Trader and Gunsmith Shop. So yeah, let's go to the Indian camp first. I mean, Indians are always up for screwing over white men, for stealing their land and whatnot. The natives lived in a small, infertile area that had been given to them by the occupying forces. They were accustomed to trading with pale faces, though most not as pale as you. You inquired about Old Man Murray. The natives knew many old men, but no Murrays. They said the only white folk around those parts were the masked men's thugs who poached from the nearby forest. What do you have for sale, by the way? Let's see, Shaman's Pipe. Increases maximum luck. I guess that's an artifact. Tobacco. Coca leaves. Southern American plant known for its stimulating properties. Greatly improves movement. Sadly, no Coca-Cola in this game. We're not making it the old-fashioned way. Dried healing herbs. Mandrake root. Provides an immediate luck boost. Coyote figurine, plus 2 movement. Dreamcatcher protects from negative bomb effects. Eagle figurine, plus 5 aim. And Vulture figurine, plus 4 sight. I think we can sell off the Deadly Derringer for a quick cash influx. That's all of their money. And we still have 10 to spare, so I'm thinking we can grab a little bit of tobacco. And maybe some dried healing herbs. And just to offer. Yeah, should be good. Thank you for your business. Off to the poaching grounds we go. The forests in Indian country teemed with game, more than the natives could ever catch, let alone eat, which made them easy pickings for the poachers. The ground was riddled with their traps. On a lucky day, you could disarm them and steal the bait. On a bad day, you'd catch a broken finger, a gashed hand, or worse. Maybe it would be simpler to just stake out the traps and wait for the poachers to show. Nothing like stealing from a thief. Let's try our luck first. You tried to disarm a trap. Your luck held. You deftly disarmed the trap and stole their bounty. And we get us a mandrake root out of this. And now, let's set up an ambush for the poachers and settle in for wait. Finally, the poachers showed. You took them out like clockwork, except for one. At first he refused to talk, but some creative pain mismanagement took care of that. Once he knew you were serious, he told you Old Man Murray was alive, but had been captured. He said the masked man had left him with the rednecks living at Rancho Rojo, then paused for effect. Seeing your puzzled face, the poacher added solemnly, "They eat people. I mean, that's what cannibals do, you know."
Old Man Murray was taken to Cannibal Farm. If you could save him, maybe that tough old bird could prove to be useful. And even if you failed, you'd still put a dent in the masked man's business.
Speaking of, there he is. Yeah, try to poke him again. You killed, burned, and terrorized, but you still couldn't find much information about the masked man. Seems they still feared him more than you. Time to fix that. As you traveled down a lonesome road, a trail of smoking ruins in your wake, an old man stepped out onto the road ahead. He knew you were going after the masked man. What a lovely face. He said that masked man had taken something he was after. He didn't approve of your methods, but he appreciated your effectiveness. He wanted to join you. Well, anyone welcome to join me, for now. So welcome aboard, Brandon Scott. You'd soon learn that the old man was the meanest cuss this region had ever seen. Until you showed up, that is. Who are you? Brandon was the scourge of the countryside and a harbinger of the endless suffering. A destroyer of dreams and devourer of fortunes. He was the local tax collector. You come equipped with Douglas Duster Special. When you pack this, any fool who draws on you dooms their own mortal fate. 2 shots per turn, but aim -5. One of those switchblade pistols. What am I even saying? Switchblade pistols. Springtrap, let's call it that. And he's got a chain rifle, which is a beast, if you ask me. A straight up upgrade over our 10 gauge. Yeah, he's the true face of evil. Now, he's got a lucky coin. Surviving several hundred years is lucky, even by coin standards. -1 max HP, but plus 35 max luck. How about we do a little bit of an exchange? You will get the ocular, and I'll get the lucky coin. I'll also take the dried healing herbs. And I'll grab the tobacco. And maybe a mandrake root too. With this setup, we are sure to succeed. Now, before we go over those cannibals, how about we take a stop at Gunsmith's shop and see what he has to offer. You enter the shop, a dozen of suspicious eyes burning holes in you. A giant of a man presented himself as Mr. Dorius, the proprietor. He wanted you to know you were personally invited to shop in this place. Well, thanks, Satan. You asked Dorius if he knew anything about what happened at Murray's gin mill. The old gunsmith explained that if there was one thing that bothered the masked man, it was losing money. He'd started getting suspicious Murray was skimming money, and when the masked man got suspicious, he didn't waste time wondering what to do. Let's browse the wares. Quarter-pounder pistol. The havoc caused by this gun's massive slugs belies its low capacity and strong recoil. -5 aim. A single shotgun, naturally, but 6 damage. That's a beast. Bog standard Western rifle, Remy Borgen rifle, Volcano pistol, for those who value caliber and capacity over maneuverability. 8 shots in this one. Almost looks like a carbine, or a cross between a carbine and a pistol. Elephant rifle, which I think we're going to be taking for Brandon here, to replace his Douglas Duster Special and turn him into a proper sniper. Yeah, a lever action pistol. How about that? And of course, a deadly Derringer and the revolver rifle. Extremely shit SIRL, huh? I'll take your word for it, considering it's available, let's put it that way. And you know what, since we are going to do that, I think we can trade the chain rifle as well. That's not what I meant. There we go. And a little bit of your cash too, thank you. Now, before we head off to the cannibal farm, I think we can also hit the elixir trader, just to see that we got everything. 1800's G11 fires a caseless bullet. And White had no killing power. Ah, I see. Jeremiah Benjamin Baker sold all kinds of cures, balms, and ointments. If their smell was to be believed, most of them were a variation of bottled urine. Anyway, what do you know about the cannibal farm, my good man? The shopkeeper revealed the man-eaters sometimes came to him looking for meat tenderizers and exotic herbs. If he wanted, he could send a letter of introduction, telling them you were one of them. That way you could approach them without raising the alarm. Every favor has a price, though. He'd only do it if you helped him test his new potion. One guy wanted a refund after the gun failed to kill him. Incredible. Sure, you agreed to take a sip of his vile concoction. A nauseating wave rushed through your body. Your face felt hot, then your entire body cramped up and you fell to the ground in agony. When it subsided, he apologized profusely, insisting you keep the rest as a make-good. He'd send the letter immediately. What are your other wares? Bottle of liquor, increases max HP. Eagle elixir, grants superior aim for a short time, I'm guessing only for a turn or two. Healing elixir, restores full health, potent. Revealer, improves sight at the cost of maximum HP. Stimulant, improves movement at the cost of maximum HP. And vitality elixir, grants healing over time. Kinda like dried herbs, I'm guessing, but a bit more potent. Or maybe just as potent. Let's have a look at our poison vial. Causes damage over time, but improves aim. Classic trade-off, if you ask me. Ah, there it is. Fate Trader. Final stop before the mission. You came across a shady character in a peculiar clothing and by a bizarre market stand. He said that his trinkets will only reveal themselves to you when you deserve so. Meaning, remember all those unlocks we did from the previous chapter? They show up at Fate Traders. Specifically, we can buy a relic, a repeater rifle, and snake leather boots from him. I suppose we can cash in both our 6-shooter and 10 gauge for a repeater rifle. I mean, don't get me wrong, the damage is there, but I'd like to put some distance between us and the enemy. I like how it costs only 88 coins, or rather $88. So we still gotta chip in a little bit. Looks like I lied, and we still need to make a stop at the water tower as well, just so we tip the odds very in our favor. The water tower was the linchpin of Cannibal Farm. You could have spilled the water to damage the masked man's property, or you could have poisoned the water to weaken the cannibals. Of course we're gonna pour the poison into the water. Dropped the poison into the water, then found a good spot to observe the results. You saw a couple of buckets being carried back to Cannibal Farm. A little while later you heard screaming. Then you noticed black smoke rising from the farm. Were they burning bodies or roasting them? You left. The implications are, of course, all there. But I believe now is the time to hit them. The farm looked innocent enough, but you knew better than to trust appearances. The cannibals had heavy sentries at the entrance. You hadn't seen a trace of Murray yet. Chances are they had him locked away somewhere. You entered the farm. If the elixir trader had kept his promise, the enemy wouldn't expect trouble. So yeah, I take the repeater rifle, Brandon takes the elephant rifle, and we are good to go. Poison will subside, of course, after this combat. Maybe it'll be something good. The cannibals had old Ben Murray. Whether he lived or not, they would die.
Time was of the essence. Murray was bleeding and would be served for dinner by sundown. You could either kill the cannibals before he died, or free him and patch him up enough to survive the fight. Also, a part of you was curious what the fuss about human flesh was anyway.
I don't think we want to find out. Or then again, we can. We got 10 turns to kill everyone or free Murray before he bleeds out. There's our meal of choice. Long pork, as they call it. And Murray is halfway through the farm. I suppose we can at least get a head start. Evade enemies. Once suspicious, they will eventually attack. Subdue them to delay reaction. Warren must survive. Oh, we are in a sneaking section. That's fine by me. Okay, careful here, that one's up top. Becoming suspicious, huh? Brandon. I'm thinking you can stay here. Well, bon appetit.
Human flesh tasted a bit like buffalo jerky. Not half bad. Strangely, he felt empowered by this casually heinous act. But no sense letting good meat go to waste.
However, 7 turn to get to Old Man Murray. Which means we gotta move. One cannibal here, another there. 2 up top. Think we can sneak in? I suppose we can. Get into position over here. Same for you, Brandon. Now then, stick him up. Good boy. And stay put like that.
The woodshed smelled of garlic and rosemary. Seasoned gunslinger just got a whole new meaning.
You are killing me, Death. You are killing me with these. But now is the point where we kill everyone. After all, they are cannibals. Who's gonna miss them? Nobody. Least of all us. So, here we go. However, I have made a tactical mistake. But we can fix that. By the way, the amount of luck drawn, the amount of luck reduced, no, deduced, that's the correct word, directly corresponds to the number, to the percentage of a successful shot. So eventually, through sheer attrition, they will score a shot. And that's when you need to be in the cover to mitigate damage. Reload. And go for another one. 39, 39, 33, 25. Changing position. And I'm thinking we can go for a flank, at least like so. Or I suppose we can wait by the door and let them come to us. It's not like they're leaving anytime soon. 34% chance to hit is not ideal. But we can score a quick hit on that one. 79%. And he's dead. Hannibal Longshot waiting on us, therefore we flank him, we shoot him dead. Like fish in a barrel. But, as always, remind yourself that if a confidence is a slow and insidious killer, they still have 2 people up top. So if we go over here to try and shoot at the Huntress up top, they will have a flank on us there. So, we'll let them come to us once again. Or we can try to bait her out by going into the shed and seeing if she will deign to come to us. There's the ladder after all. Now, Brandon, can you score a hit on that one? 39% still. If we get any more of an angle, that would be still impossible to hit. So, scoped shot it is. Only 2 damage, but it's a guaranteed hit. Come closer. We just want to talk, you know? Share seasoning tips and all that. Madam, thank you for staying put. I will reward you accordingly. Unfortunate. Yeah, we just want to talk to them. Like that. Well, maybe not exactly like that, but you get the idea. We just want to talk. That's precisely why you stay in full cover, Murray. That's precisely why, madam, you gotta go. Thank you. I suppose we can change our position once again. Come out, wherever you are. There they are. Still staying up top, pretty close to one another. Separated by the... not too much, honestly. Not too much. Now, can Warren get a bit of an angle? Not yet. So I suppose Murray will come in and still be a bit of a bait. Yep, there they are. Ow. Not too shabby of a shot, but survivable. What is unfortunate is that we don't have a clear view from this angle, it seems. We've misjudged. However, now, you're dead. Just like that. Now, Murray. I suppose if you were to approach, that would be still an instant kill, so let's just go over here and say hello to your captors. The second one is still hiding in that room up there. And while I would like to get up close and personal and introduce myself, as is proper, I would rather wait for him to reveal himself. Just get me close enough, is all I'm asking. But we might as well get into position. Now that's just rude. Just sitting there, waiting for the inevitable end. Not even bothering to show yourself. Extremely rude. No way to behave yourself around decent folk. And that's why we are going to shoot you dead. See? Now we're talking. Murray, why don't you repay them in kind?
Your
Thank you.
swiftness would be the tale of the country. The cannibals bit the dust, and Murray's knowledge of the masked man was yours.
You would have your revenge on the masked man, but first he needed to know the depths of your anger. After the fight, you noticed a bunch of farmhands hightailing it into the fields. Horseback, you could have easily caught up with them. Of course, you know what I'm gonna do. You chased them down and shot everyone. As you dashed forward, you soon had your victims within range. Though they scattered, hid, and crawled, none could escape your cleansing fury. When the dust settled, you climbed a tall windmill to scout the region. You could see a bustling and lively bar in the distance, as well as a ghost town nearby. Just north of the farm, you spied a man dangling from a tree. Grateful for his rescue, Murray told you everything he knew about the masked man. Intimidation and destruction served you well. As you became more fearsome, the people you interrogated seemed to know more and more. You were moving up the chain. Still, the location of the masked man's hideout remained a secret. You heard the story of a demon that once walked the earth with a gang. He amassed countless riches, then retired, hoarding his wealth in his hideout. It was said that he was exceptionally dangerous. But if you managed to kill him, all his loot would be yours. Now we're getting into the proper game. The possibilities, well, not limitless, but are enormous. First of all, let's see about that ghost town. Rumor had it that the whole town had died of plague in a single week. With the sickness in the air and the bodies on the ground, no one dared to loot the place. The best thing about being undead? It gives you an iron stomach. You looted the husk of a town. You found some loot, but there was something in the air. Your breath became heavier and slower. Ah, damn it, I caught the flow. Suddenly an old hag approached, squawking like a preacher. She said the city was a grave, but not all citizens were buried in it. 7 men were buried in the forest. 6 decent folk, and 1 thief buried with his loot. She said if you dug up the thief's grave, you'd be rich beyond measure. Touch the wrong grave, though, and you'd be cursed. Bad luck would haunt you, sickness would crush your bones, and spirits would follow you forever. She vanished, leaving you alone with a memorial marker. Only part of the memorial was legible, and all you could make out was Stephen Teague, a hard-working farmer. Romney Tate, a fair judge. Tony Sullivan, a magnificent cook. Donovan Byrnes, a brave miner. Sam Courtney, the finest blacksmith. See, 5 names. These are innocents. We're after the thief's grave. We're gonna need to make our lives a little easier with that foreknowledge. Let's see, cracked grave. Seeking this man's lawful heir. Contact me, Romney Tate. Abandoned grave. Here lies Sam Courtney, a skilled unreadable. Sam had been found stabbed to death in his house with no indication of struggle. The investigation discovered that he'd been testing his new stab-proof jacket. Heh. Poor grave. This grave was as poor as could be, though the meadow flowers around it meant he'd been loved. You weren't sure why, but you have a feeling this was the grave of a farmer. Not the one we're looking for. Mossy grave. The grave was covered in fresh moss, a pristine green carpet flecked with morning dew. The only readable part of the epitaph was, "A fine merchant." No. Let's have a look at all the other graves. Grimy grave. The grave was dirty and foul, filled with broken bottles and other debris. The headstone read, Donovan Byrnes. That was the miner, I'm thinking, so no. Not digging up this one. Pinkerton grave. This was a burial site, but not what you'd call a proper grave. Pinkertons. Speaking of, let's take a look at our conditions. Yep, there it is. Rattling cough. Lungs may be collapsing. -10A, -2 movement. Will be fixed after the next battle. And ooh, we got us an ear necklace. +2 heat. In case you really want the people targeting you specifically. The dead lend their ears. Hear your enemies. And I suppose we can also take the volcano pistol. For maximum heat. They will be targeting us, as opposed to Old Man Murray. Let's have a look at him, by the way. Old Man Murray worked for the Masked Man until he got caught skimming money. To make an example of him, the Masked Man destroyed Murray's gin business and delivered him to hungry cannibals. Grateful for his rescue, Murray pledged Warren his undying loyalty. Only got a 6-shooter, but we will be fixing that. Currently got abdomen puncture, +1 HP per turn. Gouged eye, +4 sight, +1 damage, +1 max HP, but -5 max luck. And lame leg, +10 defense, -2 movement, but +1 max HP. So he will be a decent tank. Definitely. Maybe we'll get him a 10 gauge or some other close range weapon. Now, here's the final one, Lonely Grave. This grave bore just a simple cross and did not appear well tended. A name was carved on it, Farron Brygo. No denotion of his trade, which means I'm thinking we found our client. There was nothing there apart from the skeleton. You figured this might be the spot. As you dug deeper, your shovel thudded on a wooden chest. The thief's loot was yours. 200 cash and 2 cards. Ace of diamonds and 10 of diamonds. Let's look at those cards, by the way. I'm sure we have a little more of them that I haven't noticed yet. There we go. Yep, 9 of clubs, cannibal, as expected. 10 of diamonds, equalization. King of diamonds, beast hearing, +4 sight. Ace of diamonds, scavenger. Red joker, +1 HP, 2 defense and 10 luck. And king of spades, barrage. Shoot all enemies in sight in sequence. I don't think I have the ace of spades yet, else it would have showed up over here. So let's see, we got 9 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, jack, king, and ace. I'm gonna need a reminder on how poker hands work. We have 2 kings right now, so that's a pair. I think this will work on Warren. If we take this, yep, here we go, a pair. We can take away all of these. And if we add the Joker, this would become 3 of a kind, right? Yep, 3 of a kind. Here's I'm thinking we'll do that. Old Man Murray here will also get himself a pair, while Mr. Tax Collector will be settled with... I'm thinking... a Jack, a Queen, and an Ace. If only for the high card. For now. And you know what? I think I will give the red Joker to Warren. What we need is 4 of a kind. Or something even better. What other stops do we have? Gunsmith Shop, Elixir Trader. Kramer is in. And of course the Demon's Hideout, which we will be raiding, of course. First of all, however, let's actually treat that cough. You sat by the fire and offered a bottle of whiskey to share. You sat for a few hours drinking and smoking with the natives. Around midnight, the real stories began to unwind. You heard tell of a sinister deity living in the forest, and a totem representing it not far away. You sought healing. The natives could put any gunslinger back together with their rituals and herbal medicine if the price was right. Here you go. Get rid of that cough. The shaman chanted and using a mix of herbs and oils, effected a cure, excuse me. Now it's become nothing. It just went away. How lovely. After all, nobody wants to be left with a nasty cough. Now, where would it be? Ah, there it is. Indian Totem. Beneath the totem lay a hoard of gold, precious stones, and jewelry. A screaming eagle carved into the totem spoke, possessed by a spiteful deity. It whispered that it wanted one of your companions, and that it would reward you greatly. Huh. Do we want to do that? We can, of course, try and do that. And I have a vague idea as to what this will lead to. Let's be honest. Nobody likes the tax collectors. Nobody. You sacrificed Brandon Scott. You never liked the way he wore his breeches. You shot your companion in the back of the head. The vile god moaned in ecstasy and delivered your reward. Beneath the totem, we got us 200 gold, and we go away. As you traveled down a lonesome road, the blood of your victims still smeared on your palms, a scrawny teenager stepped out of the bushes and accused you of killing his parents. You said you didn't rightly remember, but you'd killed so many people at that point the odds were with him. He didn't look like much of a threat, but from the pure hatred burning in his eyes, you could tell that what he lacked in brawn, he made up with determination. Welcome to the team, scrawny kid. His only problem was that he wanted to get them himself. That kid was hatred impersonated. Bullied all his life, he was now getting payback. Big time. He wanted to tag along. The scrawny kid joined you. You didn't yet realize that he would be the most vicious and sadistic being you would ever encounter. Apart from yourself, of course. Well, shit. And there he is. Scrawny kid. With his meek physiognomy and scrawny physique, the kid looked like the offspring of a man and a starving cow. What he lacked in strength and endurance, he made up for with wickedness and cruelty. He is, quite literally, a red-headed stepchild. Oh, and he also got a pepper box to his name. But congratulations, kid. You are our new sniper. Proved yourself worthy of my investment. Now, what was that Dexter Douglas special again? 1 shot, 5 damage versus 6 shots, 4 damage. Yeah, I think we can sell off Douglas Duster special for something much better. Plus, there is, of course, the dry healing herbs that we're gonna need. So, going back to Gunsmith shop and getting us something much better. This time, you attracted less unwanted attention. Yep, there goes Douglas Duster special. And instead, I'm thinking we grab either the revolver rifle or the Remy Borgen rifle. Then again, buying back our chain rifle wouldn't be too bad of an option. We already have a Volcano pistol. So yeah, I'm thinking we can go for a revolver rifle instead. And I'll take it in cash as well. Or not. It's we who need to be paying up in this case. Just a little bit. But it's gonna be worth it. Ah, there we go. Welcome. You just missed us clearing out a cannibal farm and saving Old Man Murray. Also, we traded the soul of a tax collector for a red-headed stepchild, who is a very sadistic man. Or a child. Now let's hit the Kramers in to celebrate that fact. Kramer's dilapidated joint played host to a rowdy bunch of ugly mug drunkards. And it was your lucky day. Sitting at the bar was one of the masked man's thugs that killed you. Let's see. Cheapest drink they had, just need a little courage. It's the best and strongest drink they had, nothing like a little liquid courage. Or a suspicious smelling stew. Let's try the suspicious smelling stew. The stew tasted funny and smelled funnier. You couldn't recognize the meat and no one would tell you what it is. But it was that or seek vengeance or an empty stomach. Huh. Maybe it was the... triple spiced crunchy stew that they were serving from the cannibal farm. Something tells me that. Now let's have a little drink. Nothing like a little liquid courage. Drops of whiskey dripped through the holes in your face. It was a mighty fine hooch. You felt like you could take on the world. Were now affected by recklessness. And, to close it off, you stabbed the thug in the back. As ladies screamed and men rose to their feet, you dragged him outside by his collar. After a little more persuasion, he spilled the beans on the masked man's locations and operations. The thug gave you directions to the masked man's homestead and cattle pasture. He said the masked man also owned an excavation site and an old sawmill, but was in the dark about the location of the masked man himself. Begging you to spare his life, he told you of a gold transport waiting to be picked up from the bank in Asperton. He warned you that the masked man had a deal with some demons to protect it. If they got a telegraph message or the church bell tolled 7 times, they'd swoop in like demons. When he finished, you promised you wouldn't kill him. Then you slit his throat. Finally, you knew the masked man's location. His oil field.
Finally, you heard where the masked man was hiding. Clearly, it was a trap. Clearly, you didn't care.
But before we go over there, let's do some more preparations. There's the Asperton Bank that we can rob. And the demon's hideout, which we will be visiting in a little bit. Recklessness, plus 10 aim and plus 1 damage, and well fed. Plus 1 HP and 20 luck per turn, 20 aim, 20 defense. We are very good indeed. Just so that we are completely certain that we haven't missed anything. Same old, same old. Oh, and just so that we are checking. All good. With that setup in mind, I'm thinking it's time we raid the demon's hideout. This was the home of the retired demon gang leader. Yep, proper demon right there. You unleashed hell. Everyone all right? Should be. You approached the retired demon's hideout with your mind on his money. This wasn't going to be pretty.
This was the place where the demon and his troop were residing.
Yeah, the game also has a poker theme. And you'll see which one in a bit. First of course, we got some business to attend to. Now, kid, can you see anyone from this angle? No, you cannot. But you can shoot that gangster out in the open. This will be enough to put it into an almost dead stance. So, how unfortunate that you've missed. This time, however, we won't be missing, of course. We'll just take a better angle. And now, it's a sure shot. Almost. See? Almost dead. Also, it would appear that the demon is leading an all-female gang. Funny bit of storytelling right there. Environmental storytelling, they call it. That or my eyes are deceiving me, and there were no... No, it looks like it is an all-female gang. You horny devil. Literally. Sad to see you go. But them's the rules, partner. $54 versus 33. I suppose. Nice shot, Murray. Nice shot. $44. 29. Change position. There we go. 1 damage. Well, that was unexpected. I guess the demon is properly pissed now. But remember, we have nothing to fear. We are the Undead Gunslinger, and we will have our revenge. 53, 51. I'll go with this one. Or we can actually try Barrage. That's bound to land some shots. Two damage each. That's something. Another 54 chance to hit. He shoots, he scores. You'll have to see it. Not a fan of 33% chance, so let's switch positions. Not quite enough to kill you, but I suppose enough to weaken you. Payback. Clever girl. Do we try and flank? The demon is in there somewhere. I suppose we can at least approach from this angle. Now, Murray, what's your chance to shoot? 33%. We go for this angle, I suppose. Should be give us a bit of an edge. No? 27%? Fine. Just a token shot. We can always reload. Speaking of reloading, it's not gonna be too high, 38%. So we'll switch our position once again to somewhere here. Come a little closer. Almost got me. This one might get me. No. There's the demon. Ooh, now he nailed the scrawny kid. Bad move. Bad choice. That kid had a future. I'm almost tempted to reload just so that scrawny kid lives. I think I will do that. After all, we will need all the help we can get. And I'm not going to just
This was
throw
the
him away.
place where the demon and his troop were residing.
Just gotta be a little more careful about that. Teeny tiny bit. And once again, you'll love to see it. Some guaranteed damage over there, always good. Now Murray, can you kill that gangster? You might be able to. Or at least poke it hard enough that it comes after you. Or she comes after you. Just like that. The kid will need to stay a little behind this time. Otherwise, he will miss his shot. Otherwise, he will get hurt. Now then. Can you nail her with your pepper box? 49% chance if we go for fanning, and 69% chance if we go for regular shot. Let's try our luck with fanning. That's what I like to see. You're a quick learner. You gotta go far, kid. This time. Almost. That should be enough to finish you off. Once we get into the correct position. $54, $33. Oh, fine. If you can stop yelling, that would be appreciated. We're all civilized people here, no need to announce your presence like that. Then again, you are a big bad demon. And that is to be expected. Let's see if this volcano pistol is as bad as it sounds. 79% chance to hit versus 64. We'll take the closer shot, and this time it worked as intended. Nobody's getting their money back. Not this time. Well, ain't you the lucky one? This will change. What are you armed with anyway? Looks like a regular lever action rifle. Won't help you though. Especially if you stand out in the open like that. My dear, I think it's time for you to go. 35% chance to hit still. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Kid, you got a good shot? You don't? Unfortunate. Just stay out there. Try not to get shot. Look at him. Already turning tail and running. Considering he already reloaded once, I guess he's got a musket. But we'll just have to find that one out. Now, how about a cheeky flanking shot? Think you can handle that one? Of course you will. Or maybe try and kill the gangster? No, I think you can do some damage on this one. Close. Very close. I like his style. I really do. Now let's see if we can land a shot. We cannot. Changing position. Now Murray. 29% chance to hit. I don't like these odds. Why don't you go skulk around a little more for any more of his gangsters? Nobody here, it seems. On to our next stop. As expected. Thank you for standing out in the open. That is very appreciated. Here, catch this. I just had to speak, didn't I? Fine. I'm spending my 2 last bullets in the revolver rifle on you, specifically. One, and then the other. Now, kid, can you take the shot? No, only at his posse. Fine. Let's at least take a token effort. Yep, as expected. We'll nail you next turn. Hiding won't save you, you know. Of course you do. I'm coming for you. That's a one. And move up. Draw some fire. You can take it. You're a big boy. Kid, I still want you to stay away from this one, so how about you go into full cover? And now you reload. As for me, I think I can provide some damage. No? No, I cannot. Fine, I'll just reload. Come on out. It's gotta be fine. It won't hurt. Much. Only 1 damage and he's slowly regenerating, so I suppose we do what we can. You're mine. You and all of your fortunes. But just so we're completely certain. What's the best angle? I think we can take this gamble. Kid, we're gonna need you to reposition. 1 more shot is all I need. now. But now, I've got you precisely where I want you to be. Murray, do the honors. I said, Murray, do the honors. Fine. I guess I'll do that myself. See you in hell.
The demon was now dead, his soul headed to who knows where.
Good shot. Keep it up. Yes, missing so much is indeed peak XCOM. Especially when it happens at a 75% chance to hit. Or a 61% chance, as is tradition. Not this time, however, not this time. Let's go say hello. I don't believe we've met. 24% chance. Still, gotta drain that luck. %44 chance, and he shoots, he scores. Now we just gonna need to survive this. We did. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You know, just for that little stunt, I'm killing you with a volcano pistol. Just gonna be careful not to get into your zone. Thank you. And now you die. I always get overconfident. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. This is gonna be a risky maneuver. Very risky. To risk it for a brisket. No, I think we just reposition. If we get shot, we'll do it again. Thank you for nailing Old Man Murray, by the way. I appreciated that. Now, however, I expect you to die. Thank you. The final one is somewhere around here. So we just wait for her to appear, like that. Come a little closer, please. It won't hurt much.